Hi, I'm Eliza Davidovitz. I'm continuing today with my series on the Ten Commandments, and that series is called Can You Pass the Test? Because many of us think that we are a lot nicer than we really are, and scientific studies have shown that people think and consider themselves nice and good. The Torah puts a different light on things, and it's the only light, it's the true light, and it's the honest light. So let's look at ourselves through the light of the Torah and see if we really are behaving up to par. Today's commandment is number 5, it's honor thy father and mother. And the question is, are you really treating your parents right? Now, many people know that the Ten Commandments, they're written on 2 separate tablets. The first one lists all the duties of man toward God, the prohibition of idol worship, keeping the Shabbat, remembering the Sabbath day. And the second tablet includes the laws between man and man. You shall not steal, you shall not kill. And yet so important is the obligation to honor our parents that it's included on the first tablet, which lists our duties toward God. Each of us is a product of a tripartite partnership, and we can never forget that. When you disrespect your parents, God takes it personally. It's actually one of the few commandments that comes along with an incentive package. It says, honor your father and your mother as the Lord your God commanded you, in order that your days be lengthened and that it may go well with you, etc. Honoring our parents is an obligation, no matter how successful you are, and no matter what big title you have in life, and even no matter how religious you are that you think that you're above the law, honoring your parents is on the first tablet. It's important, as it is important to honor God and respect God, unless your parents tell you something contrary to what's written in the Torah. We'll get there. So most people think that this commandment means don't be rude to your parents. I'm not rude to my parents, I honor them. I call them once a week. I'm a great kid. But did you know that you're not even allowed to sit in your parents' chair? You wouldn't sit in the king's throne. You have to give your parents the same reverence, the same respect. You can't sit in their chair. You're not allowed to contradict your parents. You have a difference of opinion, you have to do it softly, nicely, diplomatically, unless, of course, your parents, as I said, oppose a biblical teaching or a commandment in the Torah. You have to very nicely and softly deal with the situation, but never to be abrasive or to insult your parents because you're smarter and you know better, because they had to work their whole life as a shoemaker and you have a graduate degree. That doesn't give you license to be rude to your parents, and nor does it make you better. You may have earned a piece of paper that gave you a title. They have a hunchback, they have the wrinkles, they have the hardship, they have the acid reflux. They're the ones who toiled and earned. Rabbi Eli Monk says parents are a stand-in for God in this world, and any aggression against them is tantamount to committing idolatry. If somebody picks up a hand on a parent, the Torah calls for the death penalty for them. In addition, there's no statute of limitations on honoring one's parents. A person is bound to honor his parents even after their tombstone goes up. Every single action in this life reflects on those who raised you and the God that breathed life into you. Now, often people will see a religious person who doesn't behave properly, and they're excited because they don't like religious people to begin with. So they'll say, oh, I saw a religious guy, he's supposed to be religious? So you just implicated yourself in your own argument. If they are standing for God and for the religion and they're supposed to behave nice, and because they don't behave nice, it reflects on the religion and God, when you don't behave nice, your behavior is reflecting on your parents. And that's why the common phraseology, I won't say the word, but a son of a basketball player, why do we call somebody that? Who do we care who they're the son of? Because your behavior reflects on your parents and it reflects on God. So how can you honor your parents? It's too late, you were a lousy kid now that they passed on. By behaving nice even though they passed on, by being honest, by not being arrogant, by being respectful to people, because the soul lives on. And everything that we do in this world affects the souls of our departed parents. We either raise them to higher levels of peace and paradise, or we lower them into the depths of suffering. Don't talk bad about your parents to your own children. You know, very often it's a new phenomena. My parents are my BFF or my BBF or whatever it is, they're my best friend. Your parent is not there to be your best friend. Yes, talk to them, confide in them, ask them for advice, but they are not your best friend. And you should not be the best friend of your child. You have to be a parent, because being a BFF breaks boundaries. You can't be BFF with the king and BFF with God, otherwise you lose your respect. And the message that you try and convey to your children is lessened and diminished because it's no longer coming from an authority figure who they respect. It's coming from their best friend. Hearts, hearts. Don't talk bad about your own parents to your kids, because soon they will talk bad about you. You are giving them license to trash you. You're leading the way. You're showing them the way. Do not tell them, my mother was a lousy provider and she did this too much and that too much. You come to judge your parents in the eyes of your children, they will soon come to judge you. Also, we're not allowed to call our parents by their names. It's a sin to call them by their name. Another modern day phenomenon, so friendly with your parents. The next thing we have to do is serve and assist our parents however possible we can and when necessary. When they need us, help them. Just because they're not rich like they used to be, or they're not as powerful as they used to be, or as intimidating as they used to be, and you can't get anything from them anymore because they already put the will in your name. Your duty to your parents doesn't have an expiration date. You have to serve them and you have to assist them. And if they're in a nursing home for some reason that you couldn't keep them with you, and can you really not keep them with you? Because even there, my mother used to be in the nursing home business, and I understand that there are some hardworking families and people who are of less means that they have to place their parents. But too many people know in the milieu that I grew up in have the means and the whereabout to take care of their own parents and to have them at home. Do your parents really have to be dying away lonely like dogs in nursing homes when you take better care of your dogs and make better accommodations for them when you're going on vacation? We become such a selfish society. It's an inconvenience, and as soon as something's an inconvenience, we cut it off. Such a self-serving society. Did you know that you're supposed to stand when your parent enters a room? Who stands when your parent enters a room? Today the kids won't even get off the couch to give their parents the seat. What have we created? Is it any wonder that the whole world is falling apart? The world is a reflection of the microcosm of our own homes, of our own inner units. Units that have become destroyed and corrupted because there's lack of respect, lack of honor, lack of decency. How many kids today will tell their parents, oh, shut up. Shut up? Boy, in the olden days, you tell a parent, shut up, you go flying without an airplane. Honor your mother and father. Are we doing it right? Are we doing the best we can? What type of example are we setting? My mother, who was not religious, used to always tell me two things. A person who violates the Shabbat and a person who doesn't honor his parents will have no luck in life. In later years, the Bible told me the same thing. Cursed be he that dishonors his father or mother. The greatest gift in life that God gave us is our parents, and frankly, it's a gift that I feel that we just don't appreciate half enough. Honor your mother and father. That's number 5.